Last Friday, FBI Director James Comey announced the Bureau would be resuming investigations into Hillary Clinton's private email server. Then yesterday, Comey said no indictment would be forthcoming after all, for a second time. Now, just days after the first announcement, a second FBI investigation was revealed by FBI sources, this time probing the Clinton Foundation, with an indictment for pay-to-play possible there, according to reports. No update from the FBI itself on that investigation. But that's not all. Last week, FBI documents on the FBI website revealed Cheryl Mills as the person who directed Hillary's emails be wiped away with BleachBit. Take a look.
Just 2 days before Congress subpoenaed Clinton's emails, Podesta told Cheryl Mills, quote, "We are going to have to dump all those emails, so better to do so sooner than later."
Those in Clinton's camp are trying to clarify dump to mean release.
Dump means release or make public. What he was saying was we're gonna have to release or make these emails public.
But if that's the case, why did the Clinton camp delete thousands of them instead?
And they didn't just push the delete button. They had them deleted where even God can't read them. They were using something called BleachBit. You don't use BleachBit for yoga emails or for bridesmaids emails.
Joining me now is conservative commentator and national security expert Jason Gorey. Jason, hi, how are you?
Hi, great to be with you.
All right, Jason, let's start with this first investigation by the FBI, the one that was opened and then closed yesterday. Not officially closed, but at least stopped. They recommend no indictment here. Jason, I guess my first question is, what prompted James Comey to change in just the space of 9 days from reopening last week to yesterday saying, no, we looked through them already, we're good? What prompted that change?
Well, I think it's important to understand that he didn't say the case was closed, and he specifically said that the decision had not changed. He didn't specifically say that there were no charges forthcoming.
Right. Do you expect charges for someone other than Hillary to be forthcoming?
From what I understand, the investigation is ongoing, and he only announced that there wasn't a change in the decision to charge at this time. I think what we're seeing is James Comey is trying to have it both ways. He's ultimately, I think, trying to protect his legacy. He he went forward with an investigation. He didn't convene a grand jury, which tells me that it wasn't really a formal and official investigation that wanted to find the truth. And then we saw him publicly, basically publicly indict her for her actions with the server and the handling of classified information, but ultimately, officially, not moving forward with the recommendation to charge him. He's been trying to have it both ways the entire time, and I think he's been trying to protect his own legacy.
Right, so in your opinion, then, it sounds to me like you think this is a political move. The lack of a grand jury, you say, does not indicate that he was serious about investigating the truth. We also heard reports, and we talked about this earlier in the show, too, with Scott Greer. We hear reports that resignations were piling up at the FBI, that agents were unhappy back in July with Comey impeding their investigations, that some FBI agents, career agents, even thought Comey might be a dirty cop. And then on the flip side of that, Comey was faced with pretty serious and fierce opposition here from the Department of Justice, even criticism from President Obama himself. So do you think this is all just a political charade?
I think ultimately, James Comey was actually trying not to be political. I think he was trying to protect his own legacy. And like I said, when he came out with basically the public indictment of her, but not moving forward with charges, he was trying to have it both ways. And then he saw the pendulum swing the other way, with resignations potentially, at least from news reports, saying that resignations within the FBI were piling up, and public sentiment really going against him. And then he tried to swing the pendulum back to the middle by coming out with a letter once new information surfaced saying to Congress that the investigation was ongoing, again, trying to protect his own legacy. And then he saw the pendulum swing back to the left, where the progressives and left wing, the Democratic Party, were very upset at him, and ultimately he tried to swing it back to the middle again.
Right.
I think this is about James Comey looking out for his own legacy, and ultimately, and somewhat ironically, trying not to be political
Right, and it actually reminds me of really Chief Justice John Roberts, how he tried not to be political, and I put that in air quotes, tried not to be political about his ruling on Obamacare, but trying so hard to focus on being apolitical that he ended up making decisions that were political instead of principled. Jason, let's move on quickly, though, to the next FBI investigation here. This one, no word officially from the FBI. We actually heard insider reports to Brett Baier of Fox News that the FBI is conducting a year-long investigation, has been conducting a year-long investigation into the Clinton Foundation, that it's much deeper, much more extensive than people might know. There have been interviews that have already taken place, some of them 2, maybe even 3 times, because of new emails found on Anthony Weiner's laptop. Anthony Weiner, of course, being the estranged husband of Huma Abedin, Hillary's right-hand woman. Jason, what can you tell me about this?
Well, I think the real question that needs to be answered, and how we can tell whether it's a legitimate investigation or not, is, again, whether a grand jury has been convened. And I'm not sure we're going to know that for some time, but that's what would be an indicator to me whether or not they're taking this investigation serious. And I think there are many, many concerns and many potential charges that could come forward based on the way that the Clinton Foundation was operated, especially from what we've seen with the leaked emails from John Podesta's email server.
Right, and talk to me for just a second. We're almost out of time here, but talk to me for a second about what happens if Hillary Clinton wins the election tomorrow. I know that the investigation into her emails, it's not officially closed, but it's at least put on the back burner as of yesterday. What about this Clinton Foundation investigation? What happens with that if she's the president-elect?
Well, it's nearly impossible to speculate, but I can say that if she wanted to be an honest arbitrator and really get to the truth for, I guess it would be her underlings if she's president, I can't see that she would be indicted herself, she would announce a special prosecutor. That's the way to remove most political implications from the investigation.
Right, and I think she probably should do that, but not going to hold my breath until she does. Jason, we're out of time. Thanks for being here. All right, guys, you know the drill. Talk to me. Tweet Liz_Wheeler. You know I read all your tweets. And we'll meet you back here in just a minute.